I want to do so many things and I just can't get anything done ever. It's so annoying. I'm gonna tell you the story about the Zumba classes.
Okay. I want the story about the young kid throwing against the wall. That's what.
We're live. We're
Oh,
live.
okay. I'm sorry.
Oh
Wait,
no.
we have an intro yet. You didn't say we're live. So let me share my screen. Yeah, I see it. I wanted this all set up. Here we go.
Hi, guys, this is Debbie Ann. I am asking you if you would like to join us on our nightly podcast adventure. You don't have to join every night. Any night that you want to show up is fine with us. It's 12 o'clock, midnight, New York time, so Eastern Standard Time. Julie and I have had many conversations that night. And we're like, wow, that was such an amazing conversation. I wish we recorded it. So we decided we'll start recording our conversations. Then we were like, wow, we should invite this one. We should invite that one. So what we are, it's an experiment. We're doing it every single night at midnight. It's about 1 hour long. And whether we're discussing soul sparking coaching techniques, the latest enlightening books that we've read, or simply just letting the conversation flow. The reason why our podcast is completely different than any other podcast out there, we never know who's showing up. So if we don't know who's showing up, it might as well be you. If you saw this, this might be an inspired sign for you to come visit us at Zoom meeting, and the ID is right above here. Or you can catch us live on youtube.com/be re-inspired. We hope that you'll come to visit us and join our experiment, and let's see how this goes. Have a great day.
I love that intro.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Debian.
It's getting better. We're going to have a new intro and we're going to send it out as an invite. And I kind of really think that it's really cool that we never know who's going to be on the podcast. You
So
know,
I'm Wooly on that invite, if you noticed. There's a little snippet there where you're like, it's me and Wooly.
really. Um, yeah. So, I mean, that was really just off the top of my head. I was just doing it really quick. And that's what, I'm thinking maybe I should just redo it. But anyway, I want to tell you a story about when Linda and I first started doing Zumba. So we had practiced and practiced and practiced from like January till April. And our first class in East Meadow was about like 7 people, but it was all people we knew. My mom, Helen, right? Like all these our friends, Sherry, and we had a really good time. And then I rented a studio in Ozone Park down the block from where I live. And 2 people came, and Sherry and Rosalie, like some other, like 3 people. So of course the people that you know are not going to like say anything bad, right? So this woman, she was like, I, I don't know what that was, but like, how are you expecting me to do? Like, she had like 2 left feet. Like, she definitely wasn't like somebody that was into dancing or anything, right? And she was just like, I didn't like that at all. So the other woman that we did not know, her name is Michelle, and she's our number one student. Like every single thing that we wrote up or cards would always say like number one, right? She's just like, no, really, I loved it. Please please don't stop because of that woman. Like, right. So the next day I go to the deli down the block and he's like, he says to me, Debbie, did you guys have a Zumba class last night? I go, yeah. He goes, oh my God, Michelle, she was in here raving about the Zumba class and that she's begging people to go to your class because she loved it so much. So we eventually went over to the Jewish center across the street, and our like third class, we had 40 people. Like it was like we could have totally not come. We could have totally been like, we're giving this up, we're not doing it anymore. But it's like You just got to keep doing it and have faith. And you need a Suzanne Hawkins to like let you know that this is cool. Like, I was just Linda before you came in. You just missed it. I just changed it in time.
Oh,
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
good. You got your hair cut.
No,
Oh, you just moved and it was off camera. I was like,
no, it just does.
I thought you had a bob.
Yeah,
You were copying Debbie Ann.
Yeah, that I'm in that
right.
middle stage of,
Oh, growing it back out.
yeah. So I cut it all off. Once before I did it too, I had used to straighten it all the time. And then this Zumba girl had this big, great curly hair, and I was just like, why am I spending 5 hours in a salon and straightening my hair? It's like terrible for you and everything. And I go, cut it all off. And she's like, what? I go, cut it all off. She's like, every bit of it. I'm like, yep. And I left like a little bang and I cut it all
Oh,
off. This
wow.
time I tried to do that gray radiation, like where you like
Oh, yeah.
fill it in. And it just damaged the heck out of my hair. It was crazy. And then I just cut off all the bleached hair and all the dyed hair. And I
Oh.
had shaved.
You have really thick hair.
I do. Julie,
Yeah.
Julie,
She has all the hair.
time.
I'm like,
You had it all this time.
Mine used to be thick, and now, yeah, I'm like, where did it go?
When you go for the straightening, they pull it all back and they measure how much hair you have. I'm like, oh no.
Oh,
That's not, I don't want to be paying.
I have done the permanent straightening on someone's hair who had as much hair as you. My mom was a beautician, so I grew up with a beauty shop attached to my house. And this was not when she had the beauty shop attached. It was just one of the suppliers had this beautiful product from Japan, and it was just amazing. It was very conditioning to the hair at the same time it was straightening it. It was with 2 people on her head. It took us 7 hours.
Yeah.
wow.
It was so insane, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm out. I'm clacking out. Like, this is it. It was about, I don't know, maybe it's 18. It was about 4 months later. She's like, oh, it's getting a little wavy. Can we? I'm like, no, you need to, you need to just deal with a little bit of wavy and just do some blowouts at home, because no, that's supposed to be like an
Not doing
18
that
month.
again,
It did last a long time, but
Wow.
So
Still,
it's
that's
8 hours to do the gray blending. That's what it's called. And the minute I washed my hair, she put like a mask in it and it all came out. And I had like, it was like
oh,
brown in the back and like blah. It was crazy. I was so aggravated and it was so much money. I'm too embarrassed to even say how much it was. I was
Mm.
just like, why did I just cut all my hair off? It's so ridiculous. So,
so was it right? Wait, I'm trying to understand. So it was right after she did this color treatment, she did a mask, and then the color treatment slipped out?
yeah, so that there's like these gray masks that you put in and like it's a leave-in. So like
Yeah.
she dyed it. Like she's like, oh, like Debbie did this, blah, blah, blah. And there's a video on TikTok. It like blew
Yeah.
up. She got like so many views on it, right? And like afterwards she like put this mask in. It was like a conditioning mask or whatever, like by Sebastian or something like that. And I could put it in, but like it was like my hair, dude, my hair is freaking yellow and it's like orange and yellow and like whatever in the back. And so I was
Oh.
putting my hair back. And then I had the shoulder surgery. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to put my hair back. I'm going to have this big frizz ball of like,
Oh.
I'm like, cut it off. And I go down the block, Sensetti. I'll give a shout out to Sensetti. She's an amazing woman. She has like a little shop. It's like, like a 4 little chairs, little, it's huge. It's bigger than my beauty shop. Right. And she goes, Debbie, no, I feel like you really, really want to cut it all off. And she goes, let me do this other haircut first. So she does this like real bob, like Bobby Bob. And I'm just like, you are kidding me. Like I could have walked into a museum with like a clipboard and like been like, I'm like, so cut this effing off. So I will show you, Suzanne, the crazy pictures of my hair, and I'll get them while we're on the phone or whatever. And you're not even gonna believe it. It was so crazy. And so Rocco sees me and he goes, "Oh, are you going to a march?" I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, are you crossing over to the other side?"
Are you switching teams?
He goes,
What's going on?
you really look like a lesbian now.
Oh, you know what? My sister-in-law and my former sister-in-law, they wear their hair in a buzz cut. And they live in California, but I'm just like, uh, why? And they're like, because I don't have to deal with it. I just get in the shower and I'm like, ah, I at one time I thought it would be cool back when Sinead O'Connor was popular singing, you know?
Yeah.
But since then I'm just like, I don't think I could pass that off.
Yeah, it it was fun and it was cute, and like, I still had the curly, hair in the front, so it wasn't like super, super short, and I let it blonde on the top, and then like the gray was on the sides. It was like really funky. And
It
like
was super cute.
it'd
Yeah.
be all different colors. Some of the people at the group, they say, "Are you gonna cut it off again?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna let it grow again. I want my big curly crazy hair." Like I had hair down to here that was totally all curly and
Wow,
black,
that's
brown.
fun.
It
Yeah,
was
mine decided to not be curly, and for a long time, the right side of my hair, which is the left side on here, but the
Yeah.
right side of my hair, I would always say this is where you could see my ethnicity because it had a really almost kinky curl over here. And but all this was curly, so if you cut it short, it just did whatever it wanted
right,
to.
right.
And I think menopause just kind of either that or coloring my hair. Something took all the curls out. So, but I don't want short hair. I want it to grow. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay,
There's just,
it'll do what it does.
even if you put it back in a ponytail, right? It's like awesome. It's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
usually tie it in a knot, so it's not like it's
cute, it's cute.
not
Listen,
like anybody sees it.
every day Suzanne looks like a different person. Like
Oh,
it's like
Right.
oh, my hair's different. My glasses are
yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. It's like we'll just keep changing it up. So, how did everybody's day go?
Just worked. Like today was full video editing for me.
Hmm,
Oh, so I'm still catching my breath. That was a lot.
that was a lot.
You stayed busy all day working.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. When people say, what are you doing with your weekend? I'm like, what's a weekend? I just work. Yeah, it's just a handful of deadlines in front of me, and I don't know. That's just what it is right now. I on the video stuff, I don't know. I really want to have something ready for Monday, so I'm still contemplating if I.
Tuesday, Monday's a holiday.
Oh, good. So okay, so I can let go
Yeah,
Monday and not do an all-nighter. Okay, maybe you solved it for me.
that.
We'll find out. I don't know who's open and closed tomorrow.
So,
Well, there's no mail tomorrow,
right.
and the banks aren't open. So, and I work for the state, and we're not open. So,
Well,
you
my
can,
client isn't a bank and isn't a state, so you know what I mean. The rest of the world is open if you don't work for a state or a bank.
No, I
That's
mean,
what I
like,
found anyway.
I think we got off. What is tomorrow? Labor Day or something?
Columbus Day.
Yes.
Columbus Day. Right. They took away the Indigenous Day.
Yeah.
That felt like
Oh, maybe that's what it. They only did that for a minute, right?
it
Called it
was like
that.
last year. Last year
Yeah.
when I was working, and like, how come everything is closed? What is going on? And I also actually knew what Juneteenth was before we
Oh,
ever did it, because when we were doing Zumba, there was an event, and they said, "Debbie, do you want to do this event?" And I'm like, "Yeah, when is it?" And it was like landed on like June 13th, and they're like, "Oh, we're calling, it's Juneteenth." And I'm like, "Wow, that's so cool." And then I got like this huge education on what it was. And this was like 2015 maybe. And
hmm,
like, it's been going on forever, but you know, I'm like in an ethnic gym, like where there's very mixed
yeah.
population. And but we had no idea that that's what it was, so we
Isn't
like,
it the 19th?
yeah, maybe it was the 19th, but maybe this
19th of
event
June?
was on the 13th. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think this is the podcast where you come to figure out all your holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
So
Monday?
I was talking to somebody about the podcast and I says, it's open, raw, and unscripted.
Like my video editing.
I liked your video.
Yeah,
I
it's
would
much
post that
better
on
now.
my
We just didn't
pages.
finish it. My computer was just being really crazy just before. It was so mean to me. It really was.
Darn it.
Darn it. We're we so I went to that group today, and a very interesting day. Some of it I cannot is not podcastable. I could tell you if you get here early one day, but
Everything's podcastable because we're off script.
yeah, we're off script, but like, yeah, we can't mention that right this second. Anyway, besides that, um, it was a very nice day. I made it to 3 sessions, and my friends were all talking about uh, different parts of being in Gamblers Anonymous. So I went to one that was I didn't know they were going to have, and it was if your child is gambling or being affected by gambling, and that's what I want to do, right? I told you I wanted to help the kids with if they have gambling and issues, and me and Julie really knocked our heads together after that, and like I really think we came up with some amazing ideas to go to, like the incubator, like if there is one here, and like talk about it. I live down the block from a casino, and I've done all this stuff with the youth already, and they are going to be having programs for people with gambling problems. So it's going to be amazing. And
Yeah.
I met this couple that their child was older, but he had issues for quite some time, and they were giving the talk, and they were just like really going through their pains. And then I was like, I just have a question. I came here to get like some insight on what is available for kids. Like what program they go. There are none. There's one like in
Oh,
Westchester, and it's this woman that does it. And I met the woman, she gave me her card, which is really awesome. So that was really, really good. And the second one was like, how could you be of service? So they were like tied into one another. And then we had lunch, and it was so cool because I told you guys I'm a vegan, and so everybody gets their food, and like I had to make sure that like mine's vegan because it said vegetarian, so I was freaking out a little bit. And then everybody gets their steak and everything, and my plate like looks so beautiful, right? And then everybody gets dessert, and everybody gets cheesecake, and they're like, "Oh,
oh.
Debbie, get you cheesecake. Like I'll take the second, your slice. I want a second." And the guy comes out um, with this beautiful plate, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, uh, pineapple, right? And they're like, I want one of those. So like 3 people made them make them a plate of fruit. I go, that's the vegan thing. Like you can't go there.
Hey, you don't get this.
You don't get to do that.
Are you going to
That's
be
really
vegan
cool.
the rest of the day? You have to be vegan the rest of the day if you're going to make them go back and make a special
Yeah,
plate.
yeah. You have to be vegan the rest of the day. I'm going to check on you
Yeah.
after you ate that steak.
So, I before I understood all that about food, I was in India and someone was sick in the house. I was staying with Indians, and they said, Julie, they just let me know that it's bad. They didn't say karma, but it's bad luck or something to eat. You have to eat vegetarian or vegan.
Yeah.
They didn't say vegan. They said vegetarian, right? And so then I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like if you and I was going out for the day, so I didn't know what I was going to be eating, but they pretty much told me that not to eat, to eat vegetarian. I'm like, I can do that. And then I came home and found out, that like eggs aren't okay. I just didn't have a concept of what's vegetarian in my 20s. Like, oh, I didn't know because it didn't yet form an animal. So I thought it was okay. And I don't know if it was eggs or dairy. It was something that I wasn't thinking clearly because my favorite dish is chicken makhani. And so I think I ordered like dal makhani thinking that that would be okay, right? But there's a cream in a makhani sauce, in a good makhani sauce. So I tried, but I don't know what the theory is that everybody in the house must be vegetarian until the person in the house is no longer sick.
They fast, right? Like, so they're like just like water, and they wait until the sun goes down before they eat and stuff like that, right?
I didn't hear about any of that. I just heard
Yeah.
about and go out for the day, so watch what you eat.
Hmm.
And it was well before COVID. I mean, I went in, gosh, how many years? In 99, right when the new year was flipping. So I got to be there for 99 turning into 2000. So that was just a fabulous trip.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I hear anybody and everybody that's gone to India has had great experiences. They say
Mhm.
it's an amazing place, just the government's corrupt.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't been there, so
whose
I
government isn't corrupt? Let's start there.
I was at an event, and they teleported the guy in from India, and they teleported us to they
Uh-huh.
teleported the Indian guy into Fiji, and the man was like sitting in front of you. It was absolutely the craziest thing. And
Oh,
then they
holographic? Is that
teleported
what you mean?
us. Yeah, they teleported us there. I go, oh my God, like that's so crazy. And the gentleman talked to you. It was very crazy. They looked really sparkly, like, and like it looked like, very, it was so cool.
That
It was
sounds.
so cool.
like the transporters on Star Trek.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me,
Yeah.
It's
Huh,
really
that's
neat.
amazing.
It was crazy.
There's actually a company I've looked into because it's super fascinating. With the film I'm doing, we also want to do an augmented reality video game, and then I found a company called Enclu, Enklu. They're out of Chicago, and they have 15 to 18 locations right now where they do like 18, 20,000 square foot gaming centers where you can do augmented reality. But now you're not just sitting in your bedroom, right? You're in a full gaming space, but they do holographic gaming.
Oh,
So
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, okay, well that steps it up a notch. So very, very fascinating company in what I've looked at so far.
Wow. Yeah, that does sound really cool. Wonder if there's that they're doing that because that VR stuff that you
yeah, they
can
are.
put on and you're like swimming with a shark.
Did you guys
Yeah.
ever try that?
I,
I
I I got sent down in a cage with a shark and I screamed. So yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
really is like I was right there. I didn't like it.
now
I was
that's virtual
playing.
reality. So the
Yeah,
Yeah.
difference virtual reality is you can't see anything, it's a closed goggle, right? And then augmented reality is I can see everything I'm in and the game, right? So it
Wow.
blends your reality into where you are. I had someone that was it was experiment and something they were putting potentially in a documentary to talk about the benefits that could be used with virtual reality. So they want to get rid of phobias using virtual reality. And then they this person happens to be spiders, right? So gradually with the VR on, first the first thing you see is a mechanical spider, right? Or a cartoon spider, and then the cartoon spider becomes a mechanical spider. Like it's gradations of getting more comfortable, right? So the cartoon spider you're not scared of, then the mechanical spider is just weird, and then it slowly becomes a real spider in virtual reality, right?
Mm.
So and it wasn't long. It was about 5 minute sessions each, changing that the realness of it until it was a real spider in virtual reality. And then you could see less flinching, less fear, less phobia. And it wasn't just like the person got over it or anything or was less jumpy. You could really see a different reaction altogether, right? It definitely
Mm.
built up a tolerance. And this was, within an hour. It didn't take much time. And then they said, okay, now we actually have a real spider. So then they got out the real, and it was a full size like tarantula this big. And
Wow.
they had it in a container and said, "Are you willing to see a real spider?" And he's like, "Yeah." Like now I'm feeling less like it's not going to get me.
Like take the
Uh,
goggles off, here's a spider.
yeah. And so
Wow.
they said, "Yeah." And they saw the spider in the container and they said, "Okay, how about us taking out of the container?" Right?
Mm.
And it was truly fascinating to see someone's reality shift that fast, using virtual reality as a tool.
Mm.
So it was fun.
That's fascinating that Things can be like that.
I don't know if I have, I'm trying to think of a phobia I have, right? Like if I had to kill a bug because it's in my house and no one else is here to get it, eventually I'm going to either get to that bug or ignore it. But it's not like a phobia that's just, okay, maybe bats. Okay, bats. I'll say because bats have been in my house, right? And
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of something that's been in my environment that I couldn't go back in that room and it was bats. But it's because they're flying like crazy and fast. And I'm worried that it's gonna, come at me or get stuck in my hair. Like that's the same thing with bugs. If it gets stuck in my hair, how am I gonna get it out? Not like I have thick hair. Um, so yeah, in Indiana, my neighbor was General Electric. So although the campus was closed, it was just obviously that's where the bats go. And the house I was in had a peak. I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't, it's like the roof, but it's an attic. And it wasn't even because I had the lower and then we rented out the upper and then you have the attic, which was fully closed, nobody used it. But one time we went up there and we saw all of the windows were open in the attic. And that's when we were renting and hadn't yet bought the house. And the landlord says, no, it's better that you leave the windows open. And we're like, why is that? They're like,
Oh no.
because it lets the bats in. So the bats have a place to go,
That's
right?
them in.
Okay. Sure. If that's the way this house has worked all these years, why fuss, right? Until it actually came down
Oh,
from the
they
attic.
came downstairs when they weren't invited to.
Yeah.
Oh
But they
dear.
did keep to themselves until that one summer they didn't.
Hmm.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either.
Yeah.
I developed claustrophobia somewhere. So like my son would think it was funny, like I'd be washing dishes and he'd come up and be like right there. And it's like
Not
I
fun.
need you to go because she's in my bubble. But I can take an elevator, it doesn't bug me. However, when that arch in St. Louis, I had the opportunity to go in there and I didn't because I'm like, what if, what if, what if? And my neighbor was like, well, it is small. So I was like,
Arch is creepy. I gotta be honest. I've been up there and it's a creepy experience.
well, I'm glad I didn't do it. And then my other thing is heights. And I've been to in my training, we did a thing
Heights. Heights.
you had to be high and then like free fall. And so I'm like, I think it was more scary to climb up someplace and then turn around on a platform that's like 12 by 12. I'm like, my feet are almost that big. So yeah. You don't have any of that?
I do. I have fear of heights, and I did that climb the telephone pole thing.
Oh,
Oh, not fun. Climb the telephone pole, and then you have to jump over to a trapeze and try to swing from the trapeze. And you have a harness on, and there is somebody holding you, and it's like a team building thing. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. Right. And I did it. I cried up the pole
Yeah.
and I was shaking. I was like holding on. I'm like, this is far enough, this is far enough. They're like, no, 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 you got to go. So I go, I kind of tripped when I was up there and then I fell. Like, so I didn't get to get the trapeze. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, we went to an adventure day and we brought my sister's kids who at the time were like 12 and like 11 or something like that. Right. And maybe a little bit older. And we did the zip lining. We did the telephone pole again. We did this like get over some kind of obstacle without like doing anything. And we do the first event, and my nephew comes up and goes, "Hey, Aunt Debbie, we just had an idea. The kids," and I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Before the grown-ups like make us all crazy, can we just go and do it and get it over with?" Like they weren't afraid until like we were like, "Oh my God," right?
oh. So you like were on a ropes course basically.
Yeah, it was a ropes course, but it was
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
telephone pole and
Wow.
the zip lining. Yeah,
See, I when I was in Costa Rica, the people I went with,
Yes,
they
yeah.
went ziplining, and I said, I'm not going with you. You guys have a great day. I'll see you when you get back. And they're like, no, come on. And I said, no, because what happens if I get so scared that my experience is
Ruins your own.
bombing your experience? And I said, I don't want that for you, you know, and that would make me feel even worse than not going ziplining. So
The other thing with that is that I can be on something that is absolutely not high and I get that crazy. So
What?
when I was younger, we all climbed up. I was like in junior high, and we all climbed up on top of the grammar school, and it was like a story and a half or whatever. And I'm like, I live here. I'm just like, I'm not coming down. I live here. There's no way I'm gonna. And they all like, Debbie, you gotta come down. You gotta come down. And I did like skin my arm. And then my dad had his boat in the driveway, and my dad was like 6'4.5". And there's like this little ladder with like 3 steps on it. I'm like, ah. He's like, are you kidding me? He's like, first of all, I'm here. Second of all, it's like you could jump like, and you'd be. I was just petrified. It's just something about it. It's just makes me crazy.
I
Not,
did,
not loving it.
I didn't cliff dive. I cliff jumped when I was in the Dominican Republic, and it took me a really long time. And there was jumping on a lot of these things, and there was some like these natural slides, you know,
Right.
out of the rocks that you went down. And it took me a really, 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 really long time to jump, because I'm like, I'm thinking I'm going to hit something. I'm not. I was like, okay, that I was going to land in water. I was just afraid of all the rocks around me. So the very, very last one, even though I had watched a gazillion people do it, there's this rock came like this, and it's way over there, and you're jumping over here. And so they're not even close to each other. But in my brain, I could not see not hitting that rock and getting hurt.
Yeah.
So I took the rickety gonna fall down and kill myself stairs over jumping.
Yeah, that
But
high
it
dive, they
took
would
me
never let you.
forever.
Yeah, on the high diving board, they don't let you go down. You have to go off. Like
Oh,
I didn't have a problem with that for some reason. I have no idea why. But when I was in another country, I think it was Dominican Republic, and I'm climbing up to do the trapeze, the flying trapeze, and I'm like,
oh,
what the heck am I doing this for in this country? Like, and I didn't pay enough money to do it. Like, there was two like things going on. Like, I'm like, my head, right? And when I climbed up, I realized they didn't tether me. I didn't whatever. And my knees, like I just like kind of like did that, and the guy grabbed me. Uh, I killed myself on that. And I used to be a gymnast when I was younger, and like I used to be able to do all those tricks and everything. I thought I was going to be able to like once I got on it, I'd be fine. Like my throat, it's the height thing, and that netting is like crazy.
huh.
And it hurts. Like it gives you like rope burn, right? Like it's nuts.
Really? Oh,
It's nuts.
I wouldn't like
Like I
that.
went with somebody else, and they were just like beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what are you kidding me?
Yeah,
So fun.
you're a monkey.
Yeah, they were monkey. Yeah, they
Yeah.
worked on scaffolds and stuff.
Well, see, now you guys know that there's virtual reality that can remove your phobias. So when you're going on another trip with a bunch of excursions and adventures, then you just sign up for the virtual reality phobia
Let
relief.
this assist me.
But if I have a fast car and you have a fast phobia, I'm the girl to help you get rid of that, because that's fun for me. As long as
you have-
everybody stays predictable, the people on the road, you know.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I
wait.
got angry today about people on the road.
Oh.
I go to some friend's house on Sundays for dinner, and there was an accident. It's at least a far sea away, because I could see the little lights. And so I stay on this side of the lane, because I'm not going to stop in the middle of the intersection. I'll wait till these cars go. So I did. So I'm not in the intersection, but I'm in the crosswalk. The back part of my truck is in the crosswalk. And these people that are coming that were in the turn lane still turned and like cut me off. And I'm like, there's an accident right here. Are you going to cause another one? I'm like, I'm okay with getting a new truck, but
It's,
you're dumb because you're what causes this stuff.
oh my
So
God.
yeah. So I had choice words I exercised today. I was like, oh wait, I should have tapped it out. But I didn't. I chose to be angry.
I chose to be angry.
I did that in Target the other day. And
Did
seeing
you?
all these little mantras tapping. I wonder what people thought, especially
Do
when
you
you
have?
come this one.
Sorry, I'm just picturing you like rage tapping, like.
Exactly. I totally, again, that's another thing I need to put on the list. We need to have like a board, like to go to, like when you get angry. Okay, wait a second. I'm gonna tap. I'm gonna breathe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, say positive affirmations. It's like ridiculous.
I chant when I can think about it, but in traffic, like it's all loose, right? If you're just gonna be a jerk in traffic, that's not my fault anymore. So I think it's the people that have nowhere to be and they're not in a hurry. That's fine, but you could at least go the speed limit. Like it's not a suggestion, it's actually how fast you're supposed to go on the road. And then they're in the fast lane, right? But then they want to ride, double, like they want to teamwork and make sure nobody can get by or get anywhere they need to be. Like why just move over? So that's probably my biggest pet peeve on the road is just move. Lose my stuff when it
So
comes to.
remember I told you I live like on a main street? Like the
Mhm.
back of my house is on a main street. So you guys take a guess what the speed limit is on this main street. Let me just tell you one other thing about it first. It is the most traveled north and south boulevard in
45.
all of New York.
45 or
So it
55.
should be 25.
It is. It is so hard to drive 25.
But it's the
Yeah.
most traveled. Why would people
It's
choose
the
that
most
route if it's only
traveled.
Well,
25?
is it
You
most
tricked me.
traveled because it's footpath too, not just cars? Oh, it is people with cars.
It's people with cars.
Wow.
And then the other one is like famous for people like dying. It's Queens Boulevard. That's the other way. That's yeah. And
Wow.
it's nicknamed the Boulevard of Death. And you could you could watch it on YouTube. And like every time we would cross the street, we're like the Boulevard of Death. It used to not have enough time to cross, and you never knew how much time you had. Now, there's a countdown and everything. At least you know when you're gonna die, It's just ridiculous.
It's the countdown, the little crosswalk guy with the
Yeah, where they
says
like
15,
10,
14.
9, yeah. And they start
Yeah.
at like
I'm
19
gonna be
now.
hit by a car in 3 seconds.
Jeez, so crazy.
I saw a cute crosswalk sign, but I don't remember what it was. I just know it got my attention and it was in Orange County. But I think someone like put some black tape on it just the right way so it looked like it was doing a shaka, And I don't know, it caught me by surprise. It was cute. I can't remember. It's in my memory bank, but not the detail of it.
Um,
So,
yeah.
okay, with a short week, what does that mean for you guys? Does that mean that I don't even
For
know?
me,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
Tabitha, you'd
unemployed.
have to get a job first. So let's just
amongst me
You
doing,
don't want to be early retired?
you know, there is something to that right now.
Yeah.
There is something to it. They just made the New York unemployment. They gave it a raise because they haven't given it a raise in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
It was 504, which is really not, not that bad. I mean, it's not that good, but it's not that bad. They raised it. It's half of what you made. Like, so if you qualify, it went up to 863 a week.
Wow.
Huh.
So
That's not how I knew the calculation worked.
that's how the calculation works. Because people could, make all kinds of money, and then you don't just get a flat. It's up to $863, and it goes by half of your pay.
Huh, I thought it was 75% your pay. So I'm thinking something else, maybe.
No. So like, if you're making $20,000 a year, you're not going to get the 863, it's like you have to got to make good money to get the other
So
one.
that's a $350 jump.
I know, it was like, why didn't you just, but they were kind of like, I think they said something that they weren't able to give it a raise because of the COVID, and there was so many people on unemployment, and they
Oh,
extended the unemployment. So they exhausted all their funds, and now they're able to do it. It's going
wow.
to be a whole bunch of people on unemployment now. Just it's been a little,
By choice.
no,
Let
it's
me
been a
figure
little
out
rough
how to
here.
get let go.
It's been a little rough around like here, so
Yeah.
it's, yeah. So
Mm.
where where they, you know, I really thought that was going to be my last job. That's like, and I said when I went there, I switched from one job to another job because it was a steadier, you know, it was more structured company. I thought they were going to be better. And I go like, I need to take off like a fighter jet. Like I can't do this slow roll, like cruising along. I gotta do the hit the ground and go. And the closer you get to retirement, the harder and faster you have to take off. I mean, like I can't do something that's going to take me 3, 4, 5 years to build a clientele. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, what are we gonna do?
Mm.
We'll see what happens. It's
So your thinking cap is on a lot.
what?
So your thinking cap is on a lot. What am I going to do or am I not going to do?
So actually, from day one, I've been very positive, and I think that there's a lot of things that have come up that are like, huh, maybe that's why it happened. Huh, maybe that's why it happened. Like I just keep coming up with that kind of stuff.
I
So
think a lot of our opportunities are just appearing, right? And it's like a smorgasbord, at least when we're talking about it, where all you need to do is choose. And I wish
Mm.
more people felt that they were in that situation when they were between things, because they would start seeing things, right? Um, Yesterday when I had some of the writing happen, and it did happen because it wasn't something that was on my to-do list, right? Uh, but when the automatic writing happened, it was literally just something I was trying to do something else, and this distracted me and that distracted me, and then this happened. I do believe that every day we have the opportunity to see the little whispers that are happening, right? And
Mhm.
if you are more of a mindset between positions of what do I want to do most, and then you would take a moment and pause, right? So I respect you greatly, Debbie, and for doing that, to just take a moment and pause. Because when you first left this latest company, you were looking at, another position to start next week, and then luckily that didn't, transpire as quickly. So you had an opportunity to be like, what am I rushing for? Do you need to like pay your mortgage, pay your bills? Like, are you behind? No, I'm not behind. Then what do we need to rush for? Let's take a moment and see what
well,
resonates.
the thought process was, how many more years am I going to work, right? It's like,
Yeah.
so let me just go. Let me just like continue this, right? And then, um, like when you go to an interview and everything should be right. Like there was 3 men supposed to be in the interview, and only 2 were there. And the guy is literally going like this when I'm doing the interview, and I'm like, so is there anything else that I could, say to,
Yeah.
put you at ease
Change
that,
this to a this.
yeah, right. And he's just like, oh no, I think I heard enough. And then he's still doing this. And then he said to me, he looked at my resume and he said there was a gap, right? So I said, oh, pardon me for that. And he was like, what was the reason for the gap? I go, actually, I was in fitness and I was working in, as the manager of the club, and I did fitness, and it really wasn't anything to do with this job. So I figured I would put the more relevant stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it wasn't like I was out of work. I just was absolutely not relevant unless you want me to teach a Zumba class, right? You know,
Right.
and then he says to me, well, I really don't see anywhere where you have any where you have like the ability to take a territory and build it up. I go, oh no, you don't you don't see that. I owned a penny saver for 17 years and I started it from scratch. And I'm just like, how's about that? We started with zero, no, nothing, didn't even know what we were doing, and I had it for 17 years and we made quite a bit of money in this. And he goes, yeah, well, what happened? I go, the internet? Like, what is
Yeah.
it? I was just like, he was like, and then, and then I said, since I wasn't working, I go, I've got a great idea. You're hiring me for a position that you're not sure that I'm qualified for. Well, I am qualified to do 5 other jobs here, and I'm not working right now. How about you just do like a, subject matter expert or something and put me on
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks, a month, whatever. You could see what before you put money into training me.
Yeah.
And you'll see that I'll be able to do this job. And the guy's just like, I don't like, and then I was like, this guy doesn't want to hire me. And it could have been, I hate to think of it that like I'm older than he wanted, or I was a female. Like, it was one of those two things because I told the guy that was in that department at my business, he's like, oh my God, that man's a fool for not hiring you. And then I got a call from my salesman. So I would work with a couple of salespeople and they have one after sale person that works with the 3 of them. And he said, I got this really great job that my friend works at. And I used to work with him for a whole big, this big charade he went on. It was with him and he's really tight. And he said, uh, if you feel like this is in your wheelhouse, I'll help you get the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why would you do that? He goes, because I do not want you selling forklifts. He goes, I want you to do anything but be competition to me. He goes, I'm going to go out and get you a job that you have to because we're in over our heads if you're on the other side. He goes, it was great to have relentless Debbie,
Yeah.
persuasive Debbie that makes everything happen when she's on my team. I certainly don't want to be going against her, like,
Oh.
because she's
That's
going to
awesome.
annihilate us.
Is
So
that
that
really a thing though? I'm sorry. The thing that caught me was him saying, what's the gap? Like, that is surprising that that is still a question in interviews, right?
What,
With it
what was
seems
the gap?
like,
Like, I don't know if he thought like I was a stay-at-home housewife or something like that. And I go, like, I didn't know that like I was coming, I was telling him, like, I just left the job like last week and I didn't know. And they weren't hiring until September like 15th.
yeah.
They were going to send me for training. It was like perfect. I'm like, you don't have to hire me till September. I'm fine. I'll be great.
Okay, so being a consultant, I don't know, 25 years or something. I just haven't interviewed since the 90s. And I find it to be an outdated question. What's the gap? Like what's it your business? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's almost
Looking for something.
like an ADA question anymore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had surgery. My mom was dying. I was caring for whatever. I had children.
I
I
traveled the
was
work for 6 months and then I went back to work. Like what
I
does it
was taking
matter?
care of my parents, all kinds of things that
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
create that.
I
Well, and
want to
especially
think that
in a post-COVID era, it seems like a very unrelevant question, right? Because we all had a bobble, even the most, studious person that never wants a gap on their resume, they got to experience a gap. We went through COVID. So, and if you didn't survive all of COVID and, maybe you got through the remote work and then they told you to come back to the office and then guess what? You moved out of state because you could live somewhere else cheaper being remote.
Cheaper, yeah.
Right. So there's a whole lot of things that happened during and post COVID that it just seems like such an irrelevant question. I mean, let alone in the 2000s at all.
I think
Mm.
it was like I was going for like a sales position, right? And
Mhm.
like sort of like there was no reason for me to put the gym, but it was like kind of a long time. And
Yeah.
I thought it was relevant that I put like, the auto sales, like because it was
Yeah.
a sales job, right?
Right.
And the different forklift places that I worked, like that was the thing. It's interesting. And I have to tell you how I got the first job at the forklift place. So it was after COVID and like everybody was like applying to do online jobs, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to work at this car dealership that does like where they deliver the car to your door. And I had
Yeah.
done it. I had bought a car like that. I can't imagine if you were not in the car business and you did that. That would take such guts. But like I knew what I was doing, you know what I mean? So like I don't know. That would be really scary, I think. You could mess up so bad. But so they were looking for somebody and I was like, oh, this is a great job. And I would have to only go into Manhattan like once a week or something. And it's like really, really fired up to get the job. And I was doing online dating at the same time. And then it just got like so annoying to do both of them. So I'm just like, I'm talking to this guy and I just like, listen, yeah, it's been real, but I really got to look for a job. And I cannot put so much energy into this, like trying to get, like get a relationship, get a job. So he says, I didn't know you were looking for a job. He's like, I'll hire you. So yeah, I'm like, what? And he goes, oh my God, Debbie, you have like such a head on your shoulder. And he goes, I can't find anybody that's like, got their head on their shoulders, and he's like, I really need somebody. And he's just like, I'm like, well, what do you do? He's like, I have a dealership. I go, what? Like, I'm a car person and you have a dealership, right? But he didn't tell me it was forklifts, right? So, and it was called Infinity. They're out of business now, but it's called Infinity. So I think I'm going to go sell cars in an Infinity dealership and I'm going to help out. Like, and I could do it all, right? Like I could do the billing, I could do this, I could answer the phones, I could do that, right? Offered me a very, very nice amount of money. And then kept me like, they kept me for a little while and then they were selling the company. So I got sold with the company to the next company. So now I got like worked up the ladder. And then I was really good at it. I'm like, this is insane. This is
really
the
good at it.
easiest job I've ever had in my life. And I'm
So
just
all I have to do is load up Tinder, and that's how I'm gonna find some more consulting
more
clients.
clients. So crazy.
Bumble, Tinder, I'm downloading them all tonight. We're gonna
like, I have no job. Okay, here's a job, probably more than. I'm like, you can't, like, I'm telling the guy, like, you're not gonna be able to pay me, like, and it's like, oh yeah, I will, because I really need somebody. I'm like, what? This guy's out of his mind.
Wow.
Wow.
But he
Yeah.
only thought he was going to keep me for a little while, and then it wound up that I just rolled over to the next, position. It was great.
Now, see, I'm sorry, when that situation happens to me, then it's all just a gas, right? It's, oh sure, Julie, we have a position. Yeah, no problem. I just come out to dinner. Yeah. I mean, it's always a catfish. It's never like what they
No,
say.
yeah, I would have not went out to dinner, but I did go there, and like we were in a match, but like that was like we'd laugh about it, and nobody in the place knew about it. And then like some people said they did know about it. And then also when I left that company that I went to, I was fed up with them. They offered me a position. They weren't getting back to me. Blah, blah, blah. Then they told me that I had to be an hour and a half away at 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, this is just not happening. I'm like, can we do like a split schedule? Can we do this? Can we do that?
Right.
No. I can't stand when people say no like all the time. I'm just like, there's so many different ways I could set this up that this would work. And you're just like, forget it. So I'm complaining to one of the guys that left the company, and he says, Debbie Ann, I was calling you today because this company that I work for just put this position up and it says like Debbie Ann on it, like, and I was just like, get out of here. And I went to interview and I got the job. And then they offered me even more money to stay there. And I'm just like, I'm not staying. There's like nothing you can make me do to stay here. It was miserable. I was really not happy though. It was like just not.
So I have to back up. So that company that you did for 17, was that like that couponing thing?
Yeah, it was a shopper's guide. So like by you, it might be called USA Penny Saver, or it might be called the Thrifty Nickel, or the Dollar Saver or something.
Yeah.
So every town around here, adjacent to Queens, is Long Island, and they have the largest penny saver in the entire world. And and I'm like butted up against them. And then one day, like when I was at my little penny saver with my 25,000 circulation, I'm like, what if I sold the butted up, right? And so they let me sell into their paper, and I would get an interbooking fee. So I had customers and I would sell them into the surrounding towns. And then I went the other way. I went to the Brooklyn and I went to the Bronx and I did the same thing. So I had like something like 6 million circulation a week after.
Wow.
She's a genius at sales. Like, this is your girl. She
I'm
is
crazy.
absolute
I'm
genius.
crazy with like the stuff that I come up with.
Yeah.
And then, so it was Christmas time the year before the papers all like decided that we're simmering down and like doing shady stuff and whatever. And I had like weekly insertions that we had to put in. Christmas was always a crazy thing because depending on what day Christmas landed, sometimes you would skip a week and you'd only have like 51 publications or 50 publications that year, right? And so I called them to put the insertions in, and they're like, "Oh, we're not having a publication." I go, "Oh, okay," figuring it's the holiday, right? And just they're gonna have that hiccup. And they said, "Oh no, we just closed that whole. We closed Queens. We closed.
Oh,
Say they had
wow.
the other side of Queens. We closed Queens. We closed the Bronx. I was like, what? What? Like couldn't comprehend it. It was like 3 million circulation was gone like that day. And like I had no warning because they're not going to tell me. And another
Wow.
time there was a guy that owned another publication that was like kind of big, and he was calling me and doing negotiations with me, and this stuff only happens like in the movies. Like they're like, we're negotiating. He's like, "Oh, like I could just come into your territory." I'm like, "Nice try, dude, but like, what, I seeded the area and then you just come in? I don't think so." And he's like, "Okay, you're right, you're right. I'll make you an offer, blah blah blah. I'm gonna make that offer to you on like Monday, right?" I'm like, "Okay," waiting for his call, waiting for his call. Somebody goes, "Oh my God, did you hear that guy had a massive heart attack?" I go, "No, that didn't happen. The guy that's supposed to get, look at
Wow.
you, he had a massive heart attack." So
I'm now
Is that
gonna
your
put on a
Halloween
hat
costume?
when we're close. When we're close to time, I'm just gonna put on a costume.
that's cool. That's how we know. Oh my God, I can't believe it's 1 o'clock. Were you supposed to do something with the wish?
I was supposed to pick a card, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay, let's make sure we do that. 1 second. I put down my hat.
But Suzanne, some of the crazy things that I did in advertising was um, pay per call advertising. So before, like, we would do it in print. We were like the only people that were doing it in print, and it was like so easy to sell because I would just go to all my friends that own publications, and I'm like, "What are you doing with that spare space? Like, just putting in
Oh,
Philippines. You could just put an ad in and you can get paid." And they would have tracking numbers on it and stuff. It was so interesting. Then from that, we met this guy that was doing misdialed telephone calls. So
oh.
when people called, like, I don't know, you have Progressive Insurance by you?
I actually think that's who my insurance carrier
Okay.
is.
So when people, they tell you they do millions and millions of dollars worth of, advertising, and they go, "Call 1-800 Progressive," right? So people dial PR operator. We owned that phone number.
Oh,
I would
nice.
And the Progressive commercial would say, "If we can't give you the best price, we'll tell you who can." Like they were being like a sport about it, right? So like my sister-in-law that owns an insurance agency, she'd be like, "Oh, you have to know where the phone calls are coming from. Oh, this agency can give you the best price." And like they would just take the calls and they would buy the calls for like $10, $15 a piece or whatever. We were selling hundreds of them, hundreds. It was so ridiculous.
Wow.
It was so ridiculous.
Wow.
And it was
That's
like,
crazy.
why do I need a newspaper? I'm doing all this. I'm selling all that space. I'm like, why am I busting my butt? You know,
When this just landed in my lap.
yeah. When this is just fun. Like, it's like, hey, you want to make some money? Okay, And they trusted me because I had a newspaper for all those years.
Two will show up again, right? Something that's just super fun and simple.
Okay.
And here's what I'm going to say. There's something inspiring about this podcast, talking about jobs, positions, opportunities, and letting the lull be there while you're finding the thing that you want the most. Because when I picked the first card, and I just came to me to have 3 and 3 fell out. It said I deserve to be wealthy and collect an abundance card, which I will do. But then the second one says, so you can be wealthy. Now get this, because this is a conversation that Debbie and I have had. It's like, do I choose the safe route, do something I hate, and the pay is right? Or do I, no, it's the other way around. So that I love what I do and I get paid peanuts. Or I hate what I do and I get paid well. So these are how the cards laid. And it said, I deserve to be wealthy. We're going to get an abundance card. Then it said, I can live with my passion and choose a Pearl of Wisdom card. Then it says, and this is how you know you won the wish, and we just did it in 3 cards.
Yeah.
It says, be careful what you wish for. Move to the free heart and take a card. So the free will heart is where the game ends, and then you get your free will card,
That's
and
crazy.
you got your wish. So the abundance card, talk amongst yourselves when I find my cards. Oh, we'll need a pearl and an abundant, and then the free will. And hopefully this will be something. Where's the abundance cards? Here they are.
Your hat's trying to wear your
All over
ear.
face.
Okay. So on the abundance side, this is from the I deserve to be wealthy. So it's going to tell me what that entails. I am happy being in the flow of life. You are aligned with your wish, and collect 2 Pearl of Wisdom cards
Oh
as you
my
explain.
goodness.
So Debbie Ann's done a beautiful job of explaining how to stay in the flow, right? That was the abundance. And then the pearls, now we have 3 of them coming our way. And then the free will. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, in order. This is treat every emotion as a friend. I love this card. Treat every emotion as a friend. Laughter is always the best medicine. And the final card is, if you don't change direction, you'll end up where you're going.
Woo! So
Okay.
one thing that people always pray to wherever they're praying to get guidance, to get this, and then they put their hands on the wheel and they mess it up. So like, just take your hands off the wheel and let go
Right.
where you're going. You know, let go, let God, whatever.
Okay, so think of what you want your free will card to say, Debbie Ann, since this seems to be speaking most to you right now. Okay, and there it is. It says, listen to your heart song. Your wish is calling to you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you just won the
I
fastest
won the ding, 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 ding.
ever.
Could you play those
right?
bells? Could you play those bells for me that you were showing
Oh,
me?
I can watch this. Here's the bells. Is it, which one is it? Hold on, let me get to the right screen. It should be the intro. 1, 2, 3. There it is. I think it's this one. Uh-oh. Oh, no? Hold on. It has to,
You have to go to advanced.
oh, are you not hearing my sound?
No, you have to go to advanced. Advanced.
Okay, 1 minute.
Advanced.
Press pause.
Not sure.
Let me press pause on it real quick. And you said in Zoom I hit advanced?
You go to the share and
Oh,
then advanced.
oh, so I need to share
options.
first. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know how to share with sound on. You just don't need to really see my
Advanced
screen.
sharing options.
Okay, sure. Optimize for video sharing, and there. Share, and then this will do the thing. Wait. I think it's, yeah, it's that one. No, it's
Look at that. That looks so much. I love that, Julie. Better.
okay. So I got the best.
When you're working on something and you keep doing it over and over and over again, it's like with the kids' song, sometimes it's like, oh my God. Wake up. It's a new day. It's a happy day.
So I'm hoping that you'll take a minute before you lay your head down tonight, Debbie Ann, and tell us about what those cards, maybe tomorrow, tell us what those cards meant to you. journal a little bit.
I,
I'm not asking for answer tonight. I will send you a picture of how the cards fell and
okay,
see
cool.
if that resonates when you're, not on camera and being asked an immediate question.
Yeah, no.
That was pretty neat. My record before that, I guess I'll turn off this.
Who did you do the wish for? Who did you do the biofeedback for?
Karen,
Oh,
are you asking
Karen.
today who it's on?
Karen, she was on day 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I did the biofeedback. I did the biofeedback for the podcast. So
You sound like my mother doing like numerology for like businesses and like oh, the dog.
oh, I do animals. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Gilligan has been to the ER at least 5 times, and I was just desperate. I've even called another practitioner when I was just crying on the floor with him because I couldn't figure out how to get him to snap out of it. And yeah, it relieved one of my vet visits, and it's way less expensive than a vet visit. So, gosh, those are expensive. Yeah, and from the vets, we weren't getting answers, and that's kind of what it came down to is darn it, I don't know why he's having these episodes. So,
Yeah.
and it came down to allergies.
I have something fun to look forward to tomorrow. My best friend that moved away, she's like an hour and something away. She is coming to go to the doctor tomorrow, and she's going to visit somebody for like coffee. And then she goes, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day with you. So that's like fun. So that's good.
That's fun.
Yeah. My bestie.
Will you go out and about? Will you like be a tourist in your town? Will you just have dinner and drinks or don't know?
Lunch, dinner, whatever. She's just like, she's got like a 5-year-old. Well, maybe he's like 6 now. And
Yeah.
She's like, I'm free. And she also has a 19-year-old and a 20-something-year-old. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That was a good idea, wasn't it?
that's an age gap.
That's so you guys know that I dated Rocco, right? So
Yeah.
my best friend got into a relationship with a woman and she got married. And the woman she married was my sister's best friend. So we both lost
wow.
friends at the same time. It was like, you don't need me anymore, right? It's like, you don't need to share clothes with me. We don't need to go shopping, like whatever. And then they decided to have a baby, right? So everybody's like, oh, okay, whatever. So they're like, what are we going to name this kid? Da, 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 da. They had to go through in vitro and they had to like check for like certain kind of abnormalities and like because something was in somebody's bloodline or something and you had to be very careful. It wasn't like they could just do it with a friend or whatever. They named the kid Rocco. My Rocco is like, everybody thinks it's my kid. Like, what did they name it Rocco for? Why did they ask me? I'm like, why'd they ask you? He was so funny. I didn't. When I was younger, they never had my name on anything. Why would they name the kid? I'm like, Rock, they got it now. You want, like, we need to take all little Rocco's stuff and like, here you go, Rocco. Like maybe you could mend your childhood trauma. We use a license plate for your bike.
Wow.
And a keychain.
A keychain.
License plate for your bike and a
They never
keychain.
had them.
Yeah, because the keychain, you needed that for your house key.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Yeah, right. Now you can just tattoo your finger because you put it like that now.
That's too funny.
Too funny. So what I'm going to do is if you want, we could call it because it's 1:09, and we could all say a goodbye message today because you guys don't know, but I say a goodbye message after you leave. But if you'd like to say a goodbye message today, you can.
Who?
Yeah, everybody.
You.
Oh,
Come, it's fun.
I don't have a message other than have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.
There you go. I love it. Dimple pumping out. Yeah.
Right.
I think I'm gonna get some pictures together. I don't know why I can't get them on the computer here, and I'll put them in a little thing, and I'll show you what Debbie Hawkins looked like. Yeah, it'd be cool. She
That would be fun.
beautiful green eyes, beautiful girl. It was nice
Wow.
that I just thought I think of her when you're here, so it's cool. So awesome. All right,
Thank you for an awesome podcast. Thank you, ladies, for everything. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Bye. Maybe I'll finish the new intro.
We might.
We might.
Good
Take
night.
care, guys.
Good night.
Bye. We went over because it says 00 on the countdown. So that's what it goes like. Sometimes we get really deep. Sometimes it's just superficial. Sometimes we talk about work. Sometimes we talk about psychic stuff. You just never know what's going to happen. So I would enjoy, I would like to extend to anybody that would like to come on. That's what makes it different. Whoever pops in and pops on. It is a holiday weekend. I know that people are taking advantage of the long weekend. So hope to see some of you out there soon. Bye. Have a good night.